It is very interesting to look at across the regions and see what are the differences. I think in the past 5 years, I've and my colleagues have been focusing on looking at the difference in terms of digital transformation across regions. What we're seeing in China and in Singapore and some other countries, Asian countries that are alike, are three different types of readiness, and that prepare them for this new emergent situation. And those are around consumer readiness, supply chain readiness. That refers to both the inbound supply chain and also the outbound, especially the last mile delivery into the consumer. And also what I would call it a system readiness in terms of thinking about technology, in terms of thinking about government policy. So if you look at all those three areas, that you would come to a conclusion, yes, there are a great movement in US and in Europe around digital transformation in terms of deliveries that is handled by larger corporations and also small startup. But if you look at the details, I think in general, Europe is less ready, especially when it comes to fresh produce, grocery category, and the US is in the same boat while in Asia it's jumping ahead. So let me give you a few examples in those three categories and see how those differ from the different regions. First, when it comes to consumer readiness, in the past 5 years, China has really evolved significantly in terms of e-commerce penetration. If you look at broader data, China's penetration in e-commerce has reached about 36.6% in 2019, while US and UK are still lingering around 16%. And that is a number China has achieved about 4 years ago in 2015. And amongst those, much of the number are also coming in from what they call the m-commerce, which is through mobile. What that means is the consumer in China before the crisis are already ready and process much of their online activities in terms of the groceries and retail in general. While in US and UK and in Europe in general, when this crisis hit, consumer has to deal with the anxiety itself and then consider whether they should go online for this kind of shopping activities. And the second piece is around supply chain. And there we also see a huge difference. First of all, grocery categories in particularly difficult. We can see the struggle from Amazon, Tesco, and others, and really trying to mobilize their supply chain. And Amazon, in the end, has to purchase Whole Foods to really handle and really experiment with the new category. While in China, you see Alibaba and others has been really advancing significantly.
Professor.
Yes.
Let me just jump in for a moment here, because I understand absolutely what you're saying, but obviously you wouldn't want to start from here, because a lot of these systems are not in situ yet. So culturally, in many European countries, the idea of actually having someone else pick your fresh produce and deliver it to you is just a non-starter, because people like to go to the store and they like to buy the fresh produce themselves. In the circumstances that we're in now, obviously, though, we're having to be creative about how we can set up emergency supply chains and systems to deliver to households. Just give us a sense of where that was the case in the Chinese experience, how that happened. Do you get local community efforts to come together to make it happen? Would you suggest that perhaps established businesses like Amazon or Ocado be supported by the state to bulk up their process? What is the best way of trying to do this over a very short time frame?
Thank you very much. That's exactly the point, that consumer are less ready and the system is less ready. So there are a couple of ways to do it. And one is certainly thinking about a central ramp up of the digital delivery services. And we have seen that in UK on the policy end, where Tesco and others has negotiate with the government to extend the delivery time so that we can have the delivery get into the stores. And what is actually quite difficult from infrastructure to ramp up is the last mile. So in the past years, China has built up a big delivery system by JD, Meituan, and Alibaba. There's a lot of scooter services, and the gig economy to deploy actually the delivery service into the household. So that further reduces, if you think about it, the human-to-human direct interaction. So once you process it online, they could actually deliver that to your doorstep, and then all the rest confirmation is done through digitally. And that is an infrastructure that's quite difficult in the U.S. And in Europe. So I think you're actually right. It's important for the companies to work with startups to ramp up that capability through gig economy, and then thinking about how do we get the produce into every household.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.